Is it important to know or to try to figure out how a bass is positioned on a piece of structure? Is that important? Good morning, guys and girls. October 2nd. Oh, Halloween is on the way. Halloween is on the way. Isaiah 33:6. Isaiah 33:6. Ooh, this is a long one. He will be your safety. He is full of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. Respect for the Lord is the greatest treasure. You want to store up treasure? Respect for the Lord is the greatest treasure. That's what Isaiah says in 33:6. Let's see what I wrote about that. Chris and I have been caught in many storms, many times in many lakes. When I think back, we have outlived several cats with their 9 lives. Yeah, we've had some close calls, and sure, we were definitely scared. But our God has always been our safety. God is so awesome, and He deserves and commands our respect in every way possible. You know, just this last week, as a matter of fact, or maybe about 10 days ago now, maybe, Chris and I got in a storm right here. I mean, at home, right here at home, we got in a big storm. And we went out about 5 o'clock in the evening to fish the last couple hours before dark. We do that quite a bit because that is kind of the magic couple hours before dark. The sun's going down and the fish are beginning to bite, and it's just a great time to be fishing. A lot of fish are moving around, so you can see a lot of them on your electronics. And we were over on the other side of the lake, and we sort of heard something rumbling, and Chris said, "Is that thunder?" And I said, "No, it's not thunder. There's no storms anywhere around. It's not supposed to rain." And when we heard it again, I said, "Honey, that's thunder." and back over that mountain over there, it started lightning, and the thunder got louder and louder. And she looked at her radar, and I said, "Let me see that radar." So I looked at radar. It's going to miss us. No problem. Don't even worry about it, babe. I said, "It's going to go to the south of that mountain. It's not going to get here. We just keep fishing." And we did. She said, "We better go in. We're going to get soaked." I told her, I said, "Hey, our truck's on the boat ramp. If it gets close, I'll run over and we'll put the boat on the boat ramp. We'll be fine." And it got closer and closer, and the lightning got more fierce, and it thundered and carried on. And she said, "I believe we're going to get," I said, "It's going to clip us right at the edge." And it started raining. And then it started thundering and lightning more. And then it started absolutely pouring down. And so I went over and back the boat in, the trailer in. She loaded up, and she got soaked to the bone. Right here at home, got caught in a storm. She said, "You know, I've heard you say 1,000,000 times, don't worry about it, baby. That storm's going to go around." Now, I'm sure some of you girls out there can identify that with some of the guys that you go fishing with. Anyway, all right, where was I here? This respect, we're talking about God deserving and commanding our respect in every way possible. This respect is not for God's benefit. Listen to that. This respect is not for God's benefit, it's for ours. Only when we store up this respect can we fully experience His wisdom and His knowledge. True wisdom and knowledge comes only from God. Try adding a request for wisdom and knowledge to every prayer that you pray this week. Ask God for a little more wisdom. Ask God for a little more knowledge. Give God a chance to let these grow in you. We're not going to get any smarter. When we're born with an IQ, just whatever God gave us. Some people have really high IQs, some of the rest of us don't. But we're not going to get any smarter. We can learn more, we can gain more knowledge, but we gain more wisdom. And wisdom, God said, is like a fine jewel or a ruby. Wisdom's really a big deal. Really a big deal. Give God a chance to let knowledge and wisdom grow in you. As they do, your treasure chest of respect for God will become even fuller. You know, there's a place in the Bible where it says, store up your treasures in heaven. One of your treasures in heaven needs to be respect for God. You want a treasure chest full of respect for God because He will give you safety. He's full of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. Respect for the Lord is the greatest treasure. Okay, here's our tip for this week. Picture in your mind how a bass is positioned on a particular piece of cover. Whatever cover you're fishing, whether it's the edge of a grass line, whether it's a point, whether it's a brush pile, a boat dock, whatever it may be, whatever type structure you're fishing, picture in your mind how the bass is positioned on that, not only which direction they're facing, because you want to bring your bait to the front of the bass, not the other way around, bring it to the front of the bass, but where that bass is positioned on that piece of structure. Now, with our electronics nowadays, we can really do that well. And we can look at those little, Chris says looking at a live scope and look at the fish on there is kind of like looking at a sonogram. And that's sort of a pretty good explanation of it. But on a really big bass, you can actually see the head, and when he moves, you can actually see the tail move. So you can know which way to throw your lure to bring it to the front of that fish. But that's very, very important in fishing. So kind of picture that in your mind. So if you're fishing a point, kind of picture in your mind how the bass might be positioned on that point. And when you catch one, duplicate that angle, duplicate that cast. Try to get the angle set up just right, and you will probably catch more fish. Guys and girls, it's going to be a great week, going to be a fantastic week. I thank y'all for being here. I thank y'all for being on the Catch of the Day. And remember, I love you.